Okay, I haven't done this in a while, but writer's block calls for me to maybe draw a really hot girl if I can. Um, you know, I will go ahead and try to do that. I haven't drawn um, too many hot girls lately. I used to draw hot girls all the time, but lately it's been more about weird videos where I try to tell a story. So we're gonna go ahead and draw a hot girl, and there's some shoulders right now, but I gotta talk while I'm doing this. Well, shucks, maybe I should try to tell a story anyway. But also it's been a while since I've even drawn a whole lot in general. I mean, the last few days I've been drawing stuff, last couple weeks maybe, but like I haven't like really done it in a while. How big do I want the tits to be? We'll feel it out. So, I don't know. Maybe I should come up with a story, because I don't want to just sit here and just silently draw the girl. So once upon a time, there was a really hot girl, and her name was oh no, it starts with a B. I can't think of a name. Betty? Oh no, her name is Betty. I hate that name. Well, anyway, her name was Betty. Fuck. And she hated that name. And she was like, fuck it. I'm changing my name to... Oh no, what have you done to me, Betty? Why did you decide to change your name? Now I have to think of a new name for you? Oh, man. Well, so Betty was pissed off about her name being Betty. So she was like, I'm gonna call myself Better Name Girl. And Better Name Girl became her name, and she was a superhero all along. And one day, Better Name Girl was like, oh man, my superpower, I guess, must be to help people come up with better names for themselves. So Better Name Girl decided to make that her career. She went to the mayor and was like, is there a way that I can be a superhero just for, in that I help people have better names? And the mayor was like, yeah, you can do that. That's definitely part of my job as the mayor, is to grant people that. And so Better Name Girl was like, sick. My name is Better Name Girl, and I'm a superhero to help people come up with better names. The mayor was like, funny you should say that. My name is Alfred. Never been a big fan of that one. Is there a different name that I can have? And she was like, haha, I have a superpower that will help me come up with a better name for you. Instead of Alfred, what if your name was Fred? And he was like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that. She's like, you didn't think of Fred? He was like, that's such a better name than that for me. And then she was like, hell yeah, I did my job. He was like, you're hired. You can be a superhero for as long as you want in this town. And he was like, you can literally just do whatever you want. I will pay you to be a superhero. She was like, sick. So she became a superhero under the mayor's guidance. Mayor Fred, and I didn't want to say his last name because I couldn't think of it, and that's fine. And so, but the mayor's name was Fred. That was the actual truth. That was the truth. I swear. And she's wearing some kind of superhero leotard, because that does tend to be the thing that superheroes do, it would seem. So that's how she's going to dress, and that's her work uniform. And she decided that she wanted this to be her work uniform. She was like, listen, Mayor, this is going to be weird, but since I'm a superhero, what I do want to do is wear a leotard. He's like, that's not weird. Like, literally every superhero is like, is it weird if I wear like a leotard? And I'm always like, no, it's not weird. That's part of that's part of the job. Is that it's just people like to wear leotards if they're a superhero. She was like, okay, thank God I didn't want to just, I was worried it would be weird. He was like, you don't need to worry. Superheroes just always tend to do this. She was like, okay, cool. So, she walked around and she would go anywhere from the mall to the beach to church to freaking other places around the world. But mostly she would just stay in her town because usually she had to do that. What does her face look like? Let's find out, shall we? Let's find out together. One day, maybe she wears does she wear a mask? Hey you, do you wear a mask? Is that a thing you do? You could tell me if you do, it's okay. And I think that she did wear a mask. I think that she had one. Because she always liked the idea of wearing a mask. And the mask was something that she cherished. And she would put it on every morning. It had eye holes. She would put it on every morning, and she would be like, yep, this is my mask. I think she does have a nose. And she'd be like, this is my mask. I sure look great in it. And she felt really confident in her great mask that she had. What was her hair? Hang on, I need to pause it. Oh no, I just said that out loud? I could have just been so smooth about it. I could have been so smooth. Oh well. She had definite hair, and I think that she did like to show it, because I think she parts it right here, because that's the most fun way for me to draw. I think that she has bangs. Yes, she does. She does have bangs. Okay. And they also go on this side. Okay. And her hair is round, and it goes down to where? Let's find out. Does she have a ponytail? Do you have a ponytail, you son of a bitch? Oh, I bet she does. I bet it goes like that. And I bet it goes like that was how her hair went. I think, God, it's been a while since I've fucking tried, like, on the regular to draw hair. Jeez. It's not, like, my absolute favorite to draw. Does she have a ponytail? I just don't... Maybe she used to, but now it's a bob cut. Right before she had, changed her name to Better Name Girl, she cut her hair to signify to herself that she was ready for a change. It's like a little bit of a wave to it, but like not a whole lot. And there. Now she has normal hair. Sorry about that. I don't know why I flipped the phone all the way that way. I always like to draw collarbone, so that's what she's gonna have. And she was like, in her apartment one day, just minding her own business, when all of a sudden somebody was like, hey, Better Name Girl, we need your help. And I don't have a great eraser for color pencil, so I feel like maybe she just has like a thick choker because of what I accidentally did here. Chokers are pretty common for superheroes, I think. So she's gonna have one because she likes chokers. She's like, that's my favorite look, is chokers. She just likes the simple one. She doesn't want anything hanging off of it. I think that we're good to go. I guess that means that she wants the mask to be a dark color. She's just gonna have it all the way like that. And she's like, hey, what can I do for you, person who just tried to call for my help? And the person's like, listen, I really need your help. I have to go to a wedding, and I just remembered that my name is terrible. And she's like, I can help. And the person's like, thank God, I didn't want to have to show up at that wedding and have all my college friends be like, you still have the same terrible name? What have you been doing with your life with that same terrible name? And she was like, no problem. What's your name? And the person was like, my name is, I can't even bear to say it. It's so bad. She was like, wow, that sounds terrible. But if you don't tell me what your name currently is, then I can't really suggest a name for you. And he was like, what if you just say a name, and if it is my name, I'll say that's what it is. And she was like, okay, is your name Stan? And he was like, no, but that's a better name, thanks. And so he hung up. So she was like, you're welcome, Stan, even though he had already hung up. So then she was like, hey, fuck it, I'm a superhero, I'm gonna dye my hair red. So she did. And then she was like, this is a great look, I'm really glad that I did it. And then one day she was walking around with her freshly dyed red hair, and someone was like, hey, your hair color looks really bad on you. And she was like, oh man, why'd you say that to me? And I just dyed it. Why did you have to say that? And he was like, because it sucks. It's the worst hair color I've ever seen on a person. 1, I can tell you dyed it. 2, I can tell that even though you didn't want it to look natural, it's still an embarrassing dye job, and you should be ashamed. And she was like, you know, you're the one who should be ashamed, telling people not to dye their hair. He was like, no, my dear, you can dye your hair all you want. What I'm saying is, what the fuck did you do to it? And she was like, who are you? And he was like, I'm hair police, the person. She was like, oh no, hair police, the person. Are you a superhero? He's like, no, I'm a supervillain. I'm a supervillain called Hair Police, the person. And she was like, oh man, I hate you because you're my arch nemesis. He's like, why is that? Is your superpower hair? She was like, no. He was like, oh, well, good, because clearly it's not. And she was like, fuck you. And he was like, fuck you. And she was like, hey, what are you doing here? And he was like, I live here. She's like, fuck you. He's like, what, because I live here? She's like, yeah, because you're my arch nemesis. He was like, look, I didn't ask to be your arch nemesis. Why am I your arch nemesis? And she's like, because you have a terrible name. And he's like, no, I don't. My name's great. And she's like, really? What did you say your name was? Hair Police, the person? He's like, yeah, that's my villain name. And she's like, that's such a bad name. And he was like, no, it's the best name. And she was like, you really think your name is the best name? He's like, hell yeah, and I'm gonna take over the world with this name. She's like, no, you really are my arch nemesis, because I don't want you taking over the world, and I especially don't want you to take over the world with that name. I don't want to live in a world that's owned by some guy with the worst name. And he was like, oh yeah, well, guess what? Not only am I going to take over the world, but I'm also going to change the name of the world so that I can give the world the name that I want it to have. And she's like, that's even worse. And she screamed that up at the sky. And he was like, haha, now that I see that someone's actively upset by my plans for once, I feel fueled. And I have never felt this fueled before. Oh no, low battery. Well, you know what? Fuck you. And that was me talking to my phone. And she was like, hey, listen, sir, guess what? I'm gonna fight you to the death. And he was like, to the death? She was like, yeah. He was like, you can't do that. That's murder. And she was like, yeah, but you're going to take over the world. And he was like, yeah, but not by killing people. And she was like, oh yeah, well, you're gonna take over the world, and I think that that's an offense that should be punishable by death. And he was like, okay, well, I wasn't here trying to kill anybody. And she was like, oh yeah, well,